Well, hello, good morning. It is really a truly great honor to be here amongst all of you. I wanted to thank you for giving us the space to come and for being also with us as we embark on these 2 days of conversations and engagement. My name is Lourdes Inga. I am the Interim Executive Director of the International Funders for Indigenous Peoples. On behalf of NIFEP, I would like to welcome all of you to the Pacific Region of Huey and to the beautiful Otaki. It is really a humbling feeling. I was talking with someone after the breakfast about what a great moment it is, and really taking the moment to take it all in and appreciate each one of you for coming and making the journeys that you have done, for those of you that have come from close and far. During our time together, as you might have seen in the program, we have a wonderful range of different important and crucial topics for Indigenous peoples and Indigenous communities. We have sessions from health, from education, and as we just heard, and the importance of education to continuing identity and culture, to topics around food sovereignty and climate change. We will also hear from young leaders on the intergenerational leadership development, and from philanthropists on engaging with Indigenous peoples. I also want to take a moment to say to our gracious host, the Tewananga Orokoa, the Otaki community, who has really opened their arms and welcomed us, and to our partners, the J.R. Mackenzie Trust, for thanking them for really the months of planning and dedication that it took to bring all of you here and to celebrate the moment with them after many months of dreaming and envisioning and thinking what this moment now would be like. I would like to invite all of you to come to this gathering with open hearts and open minds, to really embrace each other's ideas, experiences, and struggles. This will be a moment where we are here to learn from one another, to really celebrate also each other's achievements and work and life experiences. I also want to address, for those of you that will be following us on social media, we welcome you into this space via virtual space. As you might know, IFIP is an affinity group of funders that are working in partnership and accompanying Indigenous peoples. And we hope that really these next 2 days and beyond, you will continue to practice as IFIP's key values, as are known, the 4 R's of Indigenous philanthropy. And that is respect, reciprocity, responsibility, and relationships. Respect for new ideas and perspectives different from our own. Reciprocity, meaning being ready in these next 2 days and beyond, and being ready of exchanging ideas as it is in the giving and the receiving that we can deepen conversations. Also responsibility, being accountable on each of our roles as mothers, as wives, as husbands, as professionals, as members of this global community, to continue and carry the conversations that are happening here, and to also to continue to take actions forward. In relationships, we welcome all of you to meet and make new friendships, to renew your friendships, and to carry also the conversations. As IFIP renews its energy and looks at a vision of working forward, we are committed to carry conversations like this around the different regions of the world, and to also work closer with those that are in philanthropy to really carry the conversation in a way that also ensures that those that are working in philanthropy understand what it actually means to partner and accompany the life plans of Indigenous peoples, and most importantly, Indigenous rights. So with that, I want to thank you very much for coming and really acknowledging coming to listen, to learn, and to engage in support of Indigenous people's rights. So thank you very much. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Manaia, who will be also addressing you. Thank you.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Tewa tewa te pō, tewa tewa te ao. Nō rangi tūko koe, nō rangi tūko au ti hei ki te whai au ki te ao maramati hei mauri ora. Thank you, Lourdes. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge Lourdes and her role as the Executive Director of IFIP, the Interim Executive Director. Without her leadership, this particular hui, combined with the leadership that the J.R. Mackenzie Trust provided, may not have happened. But I want to also acknowledge the role that Miriana and Rachel, and also Anthony Royal, played in bringing this hui to Aotearoa, New Zealand. We had this bold idea that we would just get up and pitched this regional hui in New York, and we had a really solid platform. We spoke to the development that we were seeing right across Aotearoa, New Zealand, and that this was a great example of Indigenous-led development, and that we wanted to showcase this work to our IFIP global partners, but also just to the world. And these regional hui, regional summits play that particular role that allows us to have conversations with other donors to understand how to better partner with Indigenous peoples. We have quite a bit of work to do in that space, but as attendees of summits like yourselves, you now are ambassadors in that regard. The J.R. Mackenzie Trust has been, for the last 10 years now, focused on trying to improve Indigenous philanthropic engagement with Indigenous peoples, and this particular summit is part of that strategic approach. We are very proud of the work that we have done at the J.R. Mackenzie Trust, and we will continue to do that, and that is to try and strengthen and improve the understanding of our philanthropic partners in terms of how you engage better with Indigenous peoples, both here in Aotearoa, but also around the world. So I want to welcome you all to this IFIP regional hui in Otaki, and also like to acknowledge the wānanga for hosting us in this fantastic venue, and also the township of Otaki. I mean, I've been to Otaki many times, and I love this place. So, and it's possibly because of the work that the wānanga has done in terms of improving its overall outlook. So, kia ora to the wānanga for that. This marks the first time that IFIP have met in the Pacific. We are quite proud of that fact that we were able to bring IFIP to the Pacific to bring together a dynamic group of organisations, leaders, donors, academics, to have a conversation around how best to fund Indigenous peoples from a philanthropic perspective. We, in Aotearoa, New Zealand, I guess our story is that we're quite heavily dependent on Crown funding, and one of the aims that we have in the philanthropic sector is to try and get more sustainability, more viability to Māori organisations in particular, so that they are not reliant on the Crown dollar. So being part of an international organisation like IFIP has seen that aspiration come to bear in terms of the work that we do at J.R. Mackenzie Trust. So the conference theme is Remembering Our Past, Reclaiming Our Future resilience, climate change and Indigenous practices for sustainability. I mean, that's quite a lot, but I mean, to be frank, we have so much to talk about that it's quite difficult to kind of bring it down into one theme. So we went with this very broad theme, but you'll see throughout the program that there's a lot of very interesting topics here that people will be able to passionately talk about. So these meetings offer opportunities to build relationships. They offer an opportunity for us to learn from each other. They offer us an ability to collaborate with each other, but mostly it offers also, from my perspective, an opportunity for us to go out at the end of this conference to have these very discussions with others who we believe should be more informed in terms of how we engage with Indigenous peoples from a philanthropic point of view. So I would like to also extend a thanks to the organising committee. Without the work that they have been doing over the last year, we wouldn't be here today. And I'd also like to acknowledge the J. McKenzie Trust. So I have the privilege of being both on the board of IFIP and also on the board of the J. McKenzie Trust, and so I get to bring both our perspectives together. And it's been an absolute privilege being part of both organisations to see this particular hui come to Aotearoa New Zealand, but also to see that the work that we are doing at J. McKenzie has been validated by IFIP, given that we were awarded the Indigenous Funders for Indigenous Peoples Award in 2014. So I'd like to acknowledge my fellow board members of the J. McKenzie Trust for being very bold, for being brave and taking the direction that it has taken by making Māori development as one of its key funding priorities. So with that in mind, I'd just like to welcome you all once again to enjoy this fantastic opportunity to link with each other, to talk, to share ideas, and to just enjoy the wānanga and Otaki. And I hope you've all signed up for one of those the site visits. There are 10, so I'm not sure how you're going to juggle which one to go to, because they all look pretty fantastic to me. So please enjoy yourself, and I do hope that you do learn something new about the world of philanthropy and how philanthropy and Indigenous develop can come together as one for the mutual benefit of supporting Indigenous development.